What's going on, everybody? It's Nick with Facemask Fantasy, and this wild 2022 offseason continues in the NFL. According to Adam Schefter, star wide receiver Tyreek Hill is being traded to the Miami Dolphins for 5 draft picks. A 2022 first-round pick, which is number 29 overall, a second-round pick, a fourth-round pick, and fourth- and sixth-round picks in 2023. The fantasy fallout here is significant, so let's get into it. In 4 of his past 5 seasons, Tyreek Hill put up at least 75 catches, 1,100 receiving yards, and 7 touchdowns. The one season he didn't hit those marks, he missed 4 games to injury. In that span, he caught 111 balls in 2021, had over 1,400 receiving yards in 2018, and caught 15 touchdowns in 2020. Hill is an elite top 5 receiver in this league who has rightfully been a low-end first-round pick in redraft leagues for 3 years running. But this is a severe drop-off in quarterback play, going from Patrick Mahomes to Tua Tagovailoa. It's hard to move Hill that far down the rankings because of his pedigree, but his new situation doesn't have the offensive creativity that head coach Andy Reid brings to the table, nor the capabilities at the quarterback position that Mahomes brings to the table. Hill still needs to be treated like a wide receiver 1 in Dynasty and drafted like a wide receiver 1 in redraft, but I'm moving him below the likes of Stephon Diggs and A.J. Brown in redraft rankings. I officially prefer that Hill falls to the middle of the second round as opposed to taking him in the top 10. I still have him in the Deebo Samuel, CeeDee Lamb tier because he's a fantastic individual talent, but his floor has to be lowered going to a new, less fantasy-friendly situation. As for his new offense, it's certainly a massive boost for Tua. His ADP of 140 is about to go way up, as it's now fair to project him as a high-end QB2 with QB1 upside. He won't crack the top 12 of redraft rankings, but he's firmly a top 15 option with the addition of Hill. And if you have him in Dynasty, congratulations. He just got a massive boost in value for at least the next 3 to 4 years. Absolutely hold in Superflex leagues. Maybe see if you can take advantage of the bump in value in a 1-quarterback league, but only if you have clear and obvious alternative options you could turn to. While it's great news for Tua, the trickle-down effect of adding Hill means we need to lower the projections of the other pass catchers in this offense. Glass half full is that defenses might not have a choice other than to shift coverage to where Hill is on the field. But Hill is a likely candidate to soak up a floor of 120 targets. What the likes of Jalen Waddle, Mike Gesicki, and Devontae Parker might lack in volume could be made up for in efficiency, but we don't know yet if Tua can support multiple high-end options for fantasy over the course of the season. Lower expectations in redraft and hold in Dynasty because the perceived drop in value is going to hurt a potential return. Waddle might be the biggest faller from a redraft perspective because he was going off the board in the second round. He likely now falls to the third round, and as excellent as Waddle is, that's not exactly a slam dunk sell now that he's the team's likely wide receiver 2 in a lower volume passing offense. Mike Gesicki gets a slight drop as well, but he was already being drafted outside the top 100. If he also falls, that's a gamble I feel okay about in redraft. His short-term Dynasty value takes a hit, though. Devontae Parker is a wide receiver 3 at best and is not a must-roster player in redraft. Hold in Dynasty if you have him, just because he should have some type of role, but he might be the 4th option in this offense now. We officially can't expect all that much. On the flip side, in Kansas City, this is still a very stable and safe situation for the remaining players, but Tyreek Hill requires an immense amount of attention from opposing defenses. That's no longer an X factor for the Chiefs to lean on. It's going to be interesting to see how Mahomes performs without a top 5 receiver to work with. Mahomes is obviously excellent regardless of the personnel around him, but we're in the business of scoring fantasy points, and we can't help but project Mahomes to have lower overall totals without a player like Hill to work with. He's been the consensus QB2 in both Dynasty and redraft behind Josh Allen, but I won't blame anyone for moving the likes of Justin Herbert and Lamar Jackson ahead of Mahomes. Herbert because of his deeper collection of weapons, and Lamar because of his top-tier rushing upside. I won't move Mahomes outside of the top 5, but there is no way I am targeting him in redraft at his current price. And if it doesn't drop at least 10 to 15 spots, I will have no shares in best ball this year. For Dynasty, though, Mahomes remains a buy in any format. The price remains high, but it just came down a bit. See if you can take advantage before Kansas City adds any additional pass catchers through free agency or the draft. As for Mahomes' top weapon, is there any question Travis Kelce gets all of the work he can realistically handle this year? Over the past 4 years, Kelce has racked up 150, 136, 145, and 134 targets respectively. He's been either the tight end 1 or tight end 2 for 6 years running now, and figures to finish in that range once again. This was something we were already projecting with Tyreek Hill in the fold, and while defenses can now scheme to take Kelce away as much as possible, that's easier said than done. Kelce is a borderline first-round pick in redraft and an obvious hold for all contending Dynasty teams. The obvious winner here is the recently signed Juju Smith-Schuster. Yes, assume Kansas City adds a player in free agency or through the draft, but Juju is now the current number 1 in the Chiefs wide receiver room. He has seasons of 166 and 128 targets to his name during his time in Pittsburgh, and with the targets Hill leaves behind, a 120 target floor is absolutely fair to project. He's a massive value at his current ADP of 100, and that is surely about to climb at least 20 spots in the short term. You may have been saddled with him in Dynasty due to his drop in value over the past couple of years, coupled with the initial uncertainty of what his role might end up being when he signed in Kansas City. If that's the case, congratulations. The price just went way up. A wide receiver 2 finish is firmly on the radar for Juju. As for Mecole Hardman, he's got a redraft ADP of 155 and certainly figures to factor in the form of a larger role in this offense. Byron Pringle has moved on, signing with Chicago, and Demarcus Robinson might not be retained. Hardman's got an opportunity, but he has underwhelmed so far playing with elite playmakers in Hill and Kelce. I'm not bumping him that much higher, either in redraft or in Dynasty. Again, expect the Chiefs to add pass catchers. We'll break down the specifics of whatever unfolds when it happens. That's a quick fantasy fallout and breakdown from the Tyreek Hill trade. What do you guys think? Put any thoughts you have in the comment section below, and we can have a conversation about this. We also host live streams on our channel each Tuesday and Thursday, all off-season long at 6 p.m. Eastern. Come hang out, come talk fantasy with us, any Dynasty or redraft topics you'd like to discuss. Till then, this is Nick with Facemask Fantasy. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for listening.